go ahead and start with just some gentle rocking. This is really good for the hips and the lymphatic system, the part of your body that helps clear out toxins. The best thing that you can do for your lymphatic system, even better than massage, would be jumping on a trampoline. And as I'm doing this gentle rocking, putting some gentle pressure on that IT band. I can't access it perfectly, but that's okay. Making sure that there's space in between my hands so that nice and stable as I rock. I like to do this too because it's a pretty uninvasive way of beginning to work on the glutes. So it helps your client get kind of used to you working on this area. And I'm gonna land on that glute medius. The order that I work is usually the same with the glutes. I like to start with the glute medius. I don't typically use a pin and stretch for this area. I like to do just more compressive work in here. I'll save the pin and stretch for the glute max, but you can do pin and stretch in here if you want. And I'm gonna go ahead and transition into my forearm, my elbow. It might look like I'm using my elbow. I'm using a good part of my forearm as well, just to soften the sensation a little bit. Anytime that someone wants deep tissue but they struggle with it a little bit, I like to find ways to make it more tolerable. Working with even a slightly broader surface area can really help. And you can also do this static holds, but I like to continue with a gentle rocking as a distraction technique, and I feel like the muscles oftentimes relax easier if you're doing deeper work. Include a little bit of movement. And if you feel like your client is responding well, but is getting a little tired of the deeper work, you can give them a little break. Sometimes I will, if my client is just, a little tired of that, I will walk my right hand around the hips and work on that connective tissue around the hips a little bit. And at this point, I'll just decide if we want to spend more time here or we can move on to the glute max. And I think that feels right. I'll go ahead and bring my right hand down. So this compressive work in here without the active release of the leg, I don't feel like I accomplish a whole lot here, but this is really good for the soft tissue. And it also gets Mallory used to me working on this area without an added element of moving her leg around. And I like to make sure that there's no gripping in the leg or the knee before I begin. And finally, doing some really good pin and stretch for glute max. I will do some quicker passes, not quick, but moving around in here. And once I find the adhesions, the areas of muscle tissue that are really sticky and dense, I'll usually move the leg a little slower and take my time. And at the same time, this area is going to need breaks as well, so you can kind of go from specific to more broad, just working around that glute max and then going back in to the areas that really need it. My favorite position for the glute max is a soft fist. And then as I start to focus on the piriformis, I'll use my elbow. Sometimes the piriformis gets really tight, and trying to work on that area before working on this bigger glute muscle can make everything tighter. I'll usually take my time. And getting some really nice releases in here, and I think we're ready to start with that work in the piriformis. So because this is a smaller glute muscle and it's a deeper glute muscle, it can be a little caught off guard when you actually put pressure on it. So I'm just gonna gradually start making sure that my placement's good of my elbow, and just gonna start gradually sinking my elbow in a little more. So same thing, you could do some somewhat decent work just with those compressions, but the active release of the leg is going to make a huge difference. A much deeper release as you lengthen and shorten that muscle. And this is an area that's probably going to need a break. You can even just rock the foot. Just giving your client a moment to catch their breath. If you get the sensation in the piriformis where it's fighting back and the muscle tissue is contracting, you need to really take a step back and kind of reassess. It's not like you have to take 4 steps back. Sometimes just a little less pressure will allow you to really open up that muscle tissue in a healthy way. With the piriformis, I find a good stopping point. Sometimes you feel like you can work in there forever. More than anything with the glutes, you're finding imbalances because a fair level of tautness in these glute muscles is totally normal. So just have to kind of find what feels out of balance. Taking advantage of not having any oil on my hands, doing some compressions for the hamstrings. If you want to, you can use the leg to shorten those hamstring muscles and then slowly lengthen them. It's a great way to not only work the soft tissue, but move a little bit deeper in kind of a sneaky way where your client may not notice it as much. On people that are more sensitive, I'll usually use this technique a lot more, going from shortened to long. And this is a nice way for me to pick up on areas that I need to focus on more. I'll grab my oil. So I really kind of done what was necessary in the glutes, but with my effleurage strokes, I like to include the glutes because if you keep your effleurage strokes short like this, it just doesn't feel as good as if you broaden your stroke a little bit. I really like using effleurage to help my client have a greater awareness of how everything's connected too. And of course you want to just make sure that you have oil everywhere you need it. Because I'm not using a bolster or anything, the hamstrings are pretty much fully lengthened here, so it's gonna feel more intense. I'm just keeping that in mind. If I start to get the feeling that my client's a little uncomfortable or it's too much, I can just shorten those hamstrings a little bit. So it's really important that you find a position of the hamstrings that allows you to really sink in a healthy way. If they're overly lengthened or shortened, it's going to be harder. And at this point, you can just decide how specific you want to work. You can do some thumb work, or you can continue with your soft fist or even your elbow if you wanted to. Cross fiber work is a really good idea in the hamstrings and the quad. So just working this muscle tissue from a totally different angle. This is a nice break too from anything that's more specific and deep. And it's a great segue into using your thumbs, something more relaxing like this. So before I just kind of land with my thumbs, which is going to feel pretty intense, I'll do a few effleurage strokes. You can use both of your thumbs together. You can use reinforced thumb. Really whatever feels right. I'm just going to work my way up. This is a fantastic technique for clearing up congestion and stickiness. But it can also be really uncomfortable. Keep that in mind. I would say it's not really worth doing that stripping if the muscles are shortened. It's just going to be a lot harder when they're in that lengthened position. Working on this IT band a little bit. And I would say just do the best you can. The IT band is not really exposed in the same way that it would be if your client's face up. But you can still do some good work. Go ahead and start wrapping things up. And with that effleurage, I do like to include the IT band, even if I'm not putting a lot of pressure. With this effleurage stroke, I'm moving my whole body and kind of rocking from foot to foot. It's nice and smooth.